Hello everyone, and welcome to this video. In this video we're going to be looking at Ultimate Marvel Vs Capcom 3 for the PC. The PC release is the Ultimate Edition and comes with all the DLC available from the very start. The PC version was produced and developed by Capcom and was released on Steam in 2017. So is this fighting game, which originally came out in 2011, any better than a lot of fighting games that are released in today's era? Here's a more deeper look at what's on offer. There is a story here, and it has had some effort put into it, but don't expect anything on the epic scale of Mortal Kombat 11's story mode. The short version of the story is this. Several characters have come together to defeat each other, and at the end of that, you don't have to fight the big boss and stop Galactus from destroying the world. It's not really that different from Marvel Vs Capcom 1 and 2's plots, and realistically, it doesn't need to be, as this is just meant to be an easy pick up and play type of game, and that's exactly what this is. The story is okay, but it's not exactly going to rock anyone's world, and for the most part it doesn't really need to, because it's just about getting into the game and enjoying yourself. The story is nice, but it's not really that important. With Ultimate on the PC, you get all the DLC characters free, and you also get all the other characters that were added with the Ultimate Edition. And it's a good thing too, because without these extra characters, the roster would be extremely small. And even with the new characters, it's nothing on the scale of Marvel vs Capcom's 2 selection of characters. That being said, however, I do like the overall appearance and the new design that they've gone for with these characters. What I don't like, however, is that some of the choices that you're given character-wise are rather strange. A prime example is MODOK and Doctor Strange himself. Does anyone really play as these two characters? Honestly, when you look at it, we could have been given great characters such as Carnage, Juggernaut, or a whole host to choose from various Marvel universes and from various Capcom universes. But instead, we just get some rather random picks. I'm not saying that all the character choices are bad, as I do love Deadpool, Zero, SNK, and a few other new arrivals. It's just that some of the choices that have been picked seem rather random. It's an okay selection of characters, but I can't help but feel that the game would be better perhaps if it had a few more Darkstalkers characters, or a few more X-Men characters. Marvel vs Capcom 3's gameplay is essentially the same as its previous installments. However, there has been one big change with a particular aspect in the game, and that is how it controls. Instead of the past method of free punches and free kicks, the control input has been simplified to a degree. If you have played Capcom vs Tatsunoko on a Nintendo Wii, then you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. One single button has essentially been forced to be 2, or in some cases 3 or even 4 buttons. What I mean by this is that if we take a character such as Virgil and use Heavy Strike, it works in several different ways. Forward and attack will do an attack as if you pressed forward and heavy punch. Back and attack acts as if you did a back heavy kick. And just press an attack on its own will act as if you just did a standing still hard kick. It's like this for all the controls, so getting used to them can be a tad complicated. Capcom said that they wanted to do this to streamline the game and make it more accessible to newcomers of the series. My personal opinion is that it just takes controlling your character and making them do what you want them to do a lot more harder. Because before it felt as if I was in complete control. Now with this more simplified method, it is a lot easier to do combos and various moves, but a lot of the time I find the characters doing things I just didn't tell them to do. The graphics for the game have changed from the previous installments, and gone are the 2D backgrounds from the first game, gone are the badly drawn sprite images of the 2D characters from the second game, and instead everything now is fully 3D rendered and looks amazing. Much like how in Capcom vs Tatsunoko, everything is now in beautiful 3D and in HD. The characters are fully 3D, HD rendered, and making characters such as Morrigan, Felicia, Hesenko and all the others just look that much more amazing. Originally, when I first played this game when it came out on the Xbox 360 console, I wasn't a fan. I felt like I had lost some of its charm in the transition. However, now I realise just how wrong I was. Since as then, I have gone back to playing games such as Capcom vs SNK 1 and 2, and a few others where the backgrounds have been 3D, but the characters themselves are awfully blown up 2D pixelated messes. Since then, I've gone on to playing Capcom vs Tatsunoko, which is an extremely beautiful game, and then I've gone back to revisiting this on the PC. And the graphics are nothing short of beautiful. Everything is very well created, ranging from the stages, the characters, to the special effects. It really is a treat for the eyes. The game's stages appear to have gone back in time to the very first game, as now in the third game, stages seem alive again, unlike what they did in the second instalment. You get to see fully 3D rendered stages with various events happening on them, ranging from being on a battleship while cannons fire, and while that's going on, you have what appears to be a light show taking place behind you. You can be in a secret umbrella laboratory with tyrants in chambers and lickers in cages, while fire happens all around you, and a whole host of various other insane things when it comes to the game's stages. The stages themselves just seem more alive again, and I really like this because the second game stages seemed so lifeless and stagnant in comparison. So to see the third game's environments come alive again, just like what they did in the first and how they used to be, it just helps add to make the game a better experience all around. A lot of effort and time is going into creating stages, and it really shows. They're so much more better than the second games. Ultimate Marvel Vs Capcom 3 is getting on a bit now. It's been around 7 to 8 or something years since the game was originally released. You would think that with that being the case, the game wouldn't hold up very well. And here's where things get a little bit contradictory and rather mixed. It's at this point that my heart sinks a little because of what you quickly realise has happened over the years when it comes to great fighting games such as this, to something that is the turd sandwich of today that is Street Fighter V. Street Fighter V is a prime example of everything that is wrong with fighting games of today's era. You have over half the roster behind a paywall, you have to pay for stages now, you're given in-game currency which is practically worthless, you're forced adverts into the game, you're given false promises, you have annoying pop-ups which constantly bombard you before you've even done anything, and this isn't even half of the game's problems. Sadly, it's the same story for a lot of other games of today, such as Dead or Alive 6, Mortal Kombat 11, and more. It's just rather sad when you look at those games, and then you look at this, which was originally released in 2011. It's almost like it was released in another universe, or something bizarre like that. I can imagine that if this game was released in today, feminists would be demanding that Capcom shut down simply just because of how Felicia looks. I can imagine liberal lefties claiming utter nonsense, such as how Rocket Raccoon needs Patia to get involved because of animal cruelty. And yet you may be sat there thinking what I'm saying sounds crazy, but just look at how these exact same people reacted to the Persona 5 Royal trailer when that popped up. I really enjoyed Marvel vs Capcom 3 on the PC, and honestly, I implore all of you to go out there and buy it, because it's nice to play a fighting game again which isn't full of social justice warrior nonsense, political correctness, or bending of the knee nonsense. It's just a classic fighting game which is extremely fun and enjoyable, and when played, it will sadly make you realise just what we've lost in today's era. Well, that's it for this review guys. Thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and please subscribe.